Howdy. Today John fixes that mysterious hole in the back seat.
So let's take care of this nonsense. I did the tape on the other side. I'm just tracing around the curve here. Really trying to, with this camera, and not be horrible. Oop. All right, we're good. Calling it good. There's actually kind of a little lobe off the bottom of this, and that'll work as a great register when we go to put the blank back in. So let's peel this off. See what we got. Here's our shape. Put it on metal, cut it out. There's step 2 again. Traced it onto the plate. Don't need this anymore. Cut this bad boy out and weld it in place. Just a note, this is such a non-straight shape. I'm just gonna kinda do square cuts or straight cuts around the edge of it, and then just take it over to the sander and dial it in. So this is what I meant by kind of making square cuts around it, and then I'll just grind it on the sander here to the right shape. And I made a little mark where there's a little lobe poking out the bottom, and that, you know, matches the hole, and that'll keep it oriented because it's not a perfect circle, right? So you want to get this kind of oval shape that you got to fit. Here you go. I'm not going to show you sanding because I need 2 hands, and you know, whoop-de-doo, I'm sanding. There you go. It's just so cute sitting there. I gotta clean up that area and that whatever that white stuff is. No telling. All right, so the plug I just cut is a thicker gauge than this back wall. And since this wall is going to be covered with something, there's some panel, I can't remember what it is. It's either carpeted or you know, leathered. I'm going to make it so, in other words, you're going to see it if you open the trunk more than you're going to see it in the car from this direction. So I'm going to make it flush on the trunk side as I weld it in here. Turned up the wire feed a little bit. Okay, that should do it.
Okay. Now how about getting that B-pillar ready?
Remember this guy? I scavenged that off of the donor vehicle. That's that flange I need to get from the quarter panel patch to the B pillar. So that's this guy. So it's kind of an awkward scenario here, the way it's joggled here, but let's get that welded in. All right, so that guy's in. One down. Okay, folks, let's with the repair of that B-pillar flange, let's look at our knit list that that handsome gentleman presented a few weeks ago. We have addressed some of these knits. So we repaired the hole through the back seat. We've just finished repairing that B-pillar flange. We fixed the hole, the big hole in the transmission tunnel. That had its own episode. We installed the passenger leaf spring mount. There's still some missing puddle welds, but I'm going to leave that till after the sandblasting. We've ground down some of the larger welds, and again, but we're going to address all the remaining welds once the sandblasting is done, and then we've got prep for sandblasting. So prep for sandblasting is a lot. It means I've got to dismantle all the bits and pieces off of the fenders, the moldings, the headlights, side lights, the trunk lids, the locks, the weather stripping around the edges, the hinges. These are all things that need to be completely dismantled in preparation for sandblasting. And I'll make videos of some of them because some of them are not straightforward, like how to take a door apart, how to take the windows out, and the proper order of doing things like that. So that's what prep for sandblasting means. And then we'll take it from there. Now this next list is what I can think of needs to be done after it's sandblasted. First of all, we've got to repair anything that the blast uncovers, like extra holes or bad rust areas, that type of stuff. I still need to address the rust pitting that's in the trunk. I've shown some pictures of that somewhere, I know. So we'll address that, and there's some along the top ridge of the rear passenger quarter panel where that T-bead is. There's some right along that edge. I'm not sure what to do. I'm going to look into like liquid leading and different types of metal that you can melt in, kind of thing, rather than just putting Bondo on it. I got to modify that new B pillar that I have that I got from, I think, Rimmer, but it's for like rubber bumper cars where it's got that divot in it for that extra mount on the door, whereas the 67s didn't have it. So I've got to modify that B pillar to match the one on the passenger side. I got to install that new pillar after I've messed with it, but I was waiting on doing that because I'm going to do that and the driver's side rear quarter panel kind of at the same time, because they interlock along that flange at the B pillar to quarter panel, and that will help register that quarter panel moving forward. I got to install the passenger quarter panel. There's still a couple of missing puddle welds, mainly in the footwell area, and then prep it for epoxy 2K. So that's what's coming up in the future.
Thanks, gang. Y'all come back soon, okay?